What is up, RPA champions? So far, no RPA champions have connected to the stream, but I remain faithful that somebody will connect sooner or later because we are doing something very interesting and exciting in today's stream. In today's stream, we are going to be working with Facebook. We're going to be working with Facebook and we're going to do something that many of you have asked me to do. So we are going to automate Facebook. How are we going to automate Facebook? We are going to automate posting to different Facebook groups. Now, I have done a robot like this previously in the past. Let's just go over it. However, this robot, due to some updates in Facebook, the robot has changed. So the robot has changed, and with it having changed, we are unable anymore to post things to Facebook. So what I wanted to do is create a new robot that is going to spam again on Facebook. Well, not spam, but create a post that we can share in all of our groups without having to do it manually. Now, Facebook is against this. However, I am, and all of the RPA champions are also against wasting time as well. So, since we're all against wasting time, we're going to build an automation that is going to do it for us. And I wanted to create this this quick stream for everybody so that we see how to do it. I needed to do it, so instead of just doing it by myself and not sharing this know-how with anybody, I wanted to create this live stream and share it with anybody that might be interesting. And it's gonna stay saved on the channel so that anybody that wants to look at it and review it later and get more detail on how to do this will have the opportunity to do so. Now, let's get started by reviewing the previous automation. And let me fix my audio here. That is great. And let's also open this virtual machine. I have many virtual machines currently doing different tasks in automation. So all right, that's great. And one last final thing before we begin. I'm just making sure that all of my robots are going to be running without interruptions for the while we are building this. All right, now, so let's try this process and see where it's going to break. This is the process that I have created previously. Now, Facebook has disabled or updated their selectors and all of their pages. So now it got to be much more complex to automate this. Actually, as a matter of fact, we should start from scratch. Let's start from scratch, leave this process as it is, and just create a new process and start with a blank canvas so that we're going to do things also better. There were some things or mistakes maybe in the previous process that I also wanted to fix. So this we're going to call Facebook posting part or version 2. And finally, we are creating a meaningful name for our process. All right, let it wait. And if anybody ever wants to leave a comment on what I'm considering on using another RPA technology as well, so if anybody has an idea on what we should use, leave a comment below. So how are we going to do this process? We have a list of Facebook groups in this Excel sheet. These are all of my different Facebook groups that I'm a member of, and I want to go to each one of them and make a post. Now, I'm not going to be using this column anymore, so I can delete this column. I think that was a little bit of a mistake in our last process. We're just going to be using one column. All right, so if we go back to our Power Automate, the first thing that we should do then, I guess we should import that Excel data or the list of all of the pages that we want to make a post on. We should import them in here and have it available. So to do that, let's search for Excel. I've been looking for it, but I can't see it. It's right in front of my eyes this whole time. And we are going to open a new document and let's select the path. I believe that it's stored somewhere around here. Here we go, Facebook groups. So let's save this. We're launching Excel, then we need to read the information from this Excel. So read from Excel. Obviously there is zero code involved and we're going to try to do this with zero code as well. Values from a range of cells or from a selection. From a range of cells, we could have also used the selection starting column A, and let's just see where does this end, at column 76. So are we going to be able to post 76 pages? That is going to be interesting to see. And row, so this start 1 and end 76. That's pretty much everything we have to do, and we should close the Excel sheet after we've extracted all of this data. Now I'm pretty sure that this works, so I'm not even going to be trying it out. Well, actually, let's just try it out. I mean, this is going to take a couple of seconds. So it's launching, it's closing, and we have all of the data. Let's just go inside of the data. This is what we have in here, called also column 1. All right. Okay, next. Now comes the fun part. Let's go and grab one of these URLs. So let's grab the first one. Let's grab the first one and let's open the browser. So let's go to a new Chrome. Let's input the URL and let's maximize this. So we're gonna try to approach this in a simple way. We're gonna try to approach this in the standard way, meaning with browser automation. So we're gonna try using the web recorder, we're gonna try spying some UI elements and see how that goes. If that doesn't work, we're gonna find a workaround it. So let's launch this web page. Let's make sure that I have everything closed. So we can close this as well, and we can close this page as well. So let's close this page as well. Here we go. All right, now let's run this. This is going to launch a new Chrome. It's going to go exactly to that page. All right, so the page has opened in another window. Let's take a look at this page. So what do we have to do? We have to click here and write post and maybe add a photo or a video. All right, so let's try doing this and see if it's going to work. Well, the first and easiest way, what we're going to do is we're just going to go here. We're going to use this web recorder functionality, and we're just going to record the different steps. For some reason, well, not for some reason, but I'm pretty confident that this might not work. Let's see what happens. This is a div and this is a span. So we want to kind of click on the div, and then we want to click in this inner div and input some text. This is a test. And then we want to click on the post button. And then I guess we should wait a little bit, or we should wait for our post to load. So let's finish this and see what we can do. Another thing that I forgot actually to do, we should have added a couple of dynamic weights. So let's add a couple of dynamic weights actually, so let's delete this and let's try to do our process a little bit more intelligently. So let's try one more time and let's record the different steps. So now before I right click into this, I'm going to right click and wait until web page contains write something. Okay, let's try it and let's see how it works. Then we're going to click on this, and then we are going to again, so we can't get this text because it's not in this div. Wait until div appears, and then please click me on this div. This is another test, and then click on the post. So all right, so clicking on the post, let's finish this. Simplest way there is, we're just going to try it out and see if all of these steps work, or we are going to have to change something. Now, if all of these steps work, that's actually pretty cool. We should have added also a little timeout to our process to make it slower. So it is going to the right page. It's clicking and it's clicking. Obviously, it didn't click on the text. So so far so good. This turned out to be easier than expected. So what is really making a large difference, I think, is these weights that we've added here. But anyways, we're going to try this out in a loop, and we're going to see how it behaves in a loop, meaning with all of the different pages. Now, what we need to do is we need to add some text. So we need to add some text before we put this post button. So let's add some text right here in web form filling. So we click here and we populate the text field in a page. We'll see if this is going to work or not. Right here, and we're going to write this is a test. And in which element we're going to put it in? We're going to try to put it in here, and let's see what happens. Into a div, so we're not putting it into an input. We're emulating typing, which is not really the best. If a pop-up appears, do nothing, that's fine. All right, we can try it out one more time. Let's just rename this just to make it easier for us to understand what's going on. So we're going to call this post, and then we're going to call this text, kind of text area, and we're going to call the first div also button. Let's call it button because start button. That's where we're starting from. All right, so that's pretty much everything we have, and now we can run our process and see if it's working so far. If it's working so far so good, because it hasn't been very hard to automate this. It just took a couple of minutes. Well, that was kind of great. Okay, so this didn't really work very well. So I think we are kind of stuck here. So inserting the text inside of that div, that didn't work. Could it be that it's a different div? Could be. So let's try it again. We could go into the advanced. We can maybe try unfocus the text box. We're emulating typing. We're waiting for this to load. We are replacing the text. Everything seems to be working. The only thing that doesn't seem to be working is that we're not getting the right element. So let's try using a UI element. So let's click on here. And we have 3 divs that we can select. We can select this div, and this most outer div. So I believe that it could be maybe this middle div right here. So I'm going to click on it, right click. And this is what we got. We got something pretty nasty in terms of selectors. So let's try something else. Let's try this other. All right, we're getting also another nasty selector. Let's just try it with this with these selector. This probably might work. Most probably it will not work on the other pages as well. So let's see what happens. All right, it has opened the post. Now theoretically it should insert the text inside, but as we have predicted, it did not. It was not able to find the text. So all right, so what we should do is let's take another approach. So since we're unable to inject the text in there, and we know that we are clicking in the text area, so right after we click in the text area, we can send some keys because the selector is flashing. So let's try to send some keys. Maybe before even trying to send some keys, we can try to do something else. We can try to use an UI selector. So this is better than just sending keys. So we can try to use this UI automation. So it's not web browser automation anymore, it's UI automation. And we can populate the text field in the window. So let's add it right here. And just pay attention that we are using a little bit of a combination of text right here. Do we have anything else that we can? No. So let's try. Let's try adding it, or let's right click. So the right click is not working there. Okay, so since the right click is not working, probably we're not going to be able to add the text this way as well. Now let's go into this selector that was just created. So you can see that this selector might be a little bit too unique. Let's try it out and see how it behaves. Actually, it looks like it might be stable. It might be stable enough, but we never know. So we're gonna try this method out, and if this method doesn't work, we're gonna just send our keys. We're just gonna send keys to the browser and automate it that way. Now, why it's not always the best to send keys to the browser? Did this work? This is a test. It did work. All right, so it did work. It just went a little bit way too fast for my taste. So what does that mean that it went a little bit too fast? It's not giving Facebook the time to process this post. So we should work around it. But now we know that this works. Can we delay this in any way? No, we cannot delay this in any way. We can just add a wait here after this has been inserted, and a wait maybe before. A wait before is unnecessary. Let's try sending our keys. So let's try to see if sending keys would work as well. So let's just add it afterwards. This is a test. This actually might work a little bit better. Let's increase this to something like this and simulate hardware keys. So we don't want Facebook to think that we are a bot copying and injecting text. So that's why we are going to try to use this as well, or one or the other. So if the send keys seems to be better, we're going to be switching to send keys and using the send keys. Otherwise, we are going to be just sticking with this. Now, a lot of RTA champions have asked how that they're having problems with these selectors. So both of these have worked. So that's actually pretty good. We can use one and the other. All right. So if I go back here and I want to get this message, and let's just go all the way to let's delete this and let's save it. And the message that we're going to be posting is going to be posting a message about one of the RPA Champions videos. So we have this, we would like to insert that. Should we as well add a custom image? We can, we should. Let's first try this. Let's disable this action and let's make this a little bit more human-like. So we're going to add, well, 50 might be a little bit too much. We're just going to add 35. And after this, we're also going to add a wait. We are going to add a wait, and we're going to wait for this to reappear. Let's see if that is going to be good. Well, no, after we post, we're going to wait for that to reappear, and then we'll have known that we have successfully posted. And then let's add the message. And in the message, we're going to say successfully posted. This message is just for right now. We're going to remove it later. Post made. So save. Let's run this on the fly. So launching Excel, reading from Excel. We have our 66 rows. We are navigating to Facebook. We are re-navigating to the link, and now it should simulate as if we are typing. So it's working. It's putting in the link, it's posting it. It should have given it a little bit more time, and post made. Seems like it's working. Seems like it is working. So not really. Why? Because we actually want to wait for the link to show the preview. So let's kind of fix that. So we can fix that with a dynamic wait maybe, or we can fix it with, I think we can just fix it with a standard wait. Obviously we can fix it with a dynamic wait, but we would have to look for something that that appears. So let's give it 15 seconds. 15 seconds should be more than enough to make a post. And we can close this. Now, let's try running this inside a loop on all of our pages and see what happens, right? So that would be almost the end of our automation. We do have another couple of things that we can try to do, such as we can try to automate. We can try to automate this. Let's try to automate this in a loop, and then we will see. Later. So let's go right here. Add a for each loop. This is going to loop on all of our Excel data that we got, 76 URLs. So it's going to go to all of those 76 URLs and make this post. Now, if we made this general enough, it should work on all of the pages. If it didn't, then our selector is pretty garbage, and we will have to change it and make it into something else. Now let's try this without any errors. One last thing that we have to do is we have to add the current item right here. So now we are going to be navigating to the first row, to the second row, to the third row, and so on. Then we're going to be clicking on write something on the start button, where we're going to wait for this, click on the start button, text area, so on and so on and so on. Let's run it. Maybe it's going to work. If it works, it's pretty great, because because we have automated Facebook posting already in a very quick amount of time. So this is blocked somewhere. Did it get stuck? No, it's working. It's opening Facebook, and I'm also always very curious about all of the different kinds of automations that different RPA champions might have. So now it should wait for 15 seconds before posting it. So here we have a little error. So we shouldn't leave and go to the next loop. We should wait a little bit. So let's fix this part. Let's go back here. So let's stop this. And where is our wait? I was pretty sure that we added a wait, and we add the wait after we post. We wait for 15 seconds. 15 seconds, and then we go to the next page. All right, let's close the different browsers that we have, not to run out of memory. Let's close this one as well, and let's start automating and posting on Facebook. After that, we could also, this has opened on another browser, so let me show you what is going on. What we could do also later on is connect this automation to a chatbot or to a Power App, or to Power Flow, so that we can trigger it with just a click of a button, or that we have did this work successfully? Yes, but it did not. It's still not showing the preview. So we have to block this, and we should add one more wait. So let's add one more wait of, let's say, 15 seconds. 30 seconds altogether. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but that's also better because Facebook is not going to flag us as a bot. So let's run this. Let's run this one more time and see what we get. So I'll open it on this page right here. So it's creating a post. Let's see if it's going to input the text. All right, it's input. Can I automate a YouTube channel from content creation to uploading to YouTube? Well, of course we can. We waited for it to load. Now we're going to wait for 15 seconds. We have a preview. Now we should click post. We should try to remove the link, maybe. So we could get that text and then remove the link. Let's see if there was a preview that is generated. All right, that's great. A preview has been generated. Now let's see if we're gonna go to the next, to the next. All right, it's going into the next. And what we want to do also right now, we want to keep track in our Excel sheet everywhere where we make this post. Why? Because if okay, did this break? Amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Our process has broken already, and that is great. Now, why? It didn't find this. It didn't find this selector, and let me tell you why. I think because the page here and the page right here, they have something else in the page that makes it a little bit different from the previous one. So by just web recording that element, it did not work. So I assume that well, what we can do is we can also record this element right here, and we can add it to the selector over here. So that's going to be our last hope. Is we can add it. We can add a new selector from that page, and so on until we get all of them in here. But that would be kind of time consuming. Let's try to do something else. So it did find the text, write something, so it did wait for that. So we have to replace this click right here. Let's replace this click with the UI automation. So let's go right here and let's click on press button in window. Let's try it out. And this should create a selector that is general enough. That is just like this. That is general enough that should work everywhere and on every page. So let's see if that is actually how things are. So we can remove that unworking selector. So we are waiting for write text, then we're going to click on write something. We could have also done something else, meaning that we can go here, add UI element, and we can right click. Can we right click? No, we can't. Excellent. All right, that was quicker than expected. So let's try it out now and let's see if it's going to work with this change of the UI selector implemented. Now with this UI selector, we should theoretically be able to, it should look for a button on the browser. It should always stay selected, meaning in focus the window. If the window is not in focus, it will have a hard time finding it. Now, did this already break? This has already broken. Now that's great. Let's find out why. So let's go right here into our selector. So it's not able to find, failed to press the button. Button wasn't found. So it didn't find the button because could we try on the other page? Let's try on the other page. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of debugging here, but once we get it, we are going to know what is the deal. So this was the second page. This is where we made our selector. So so actually let's respite on this page and see if it's going to work on this page. So we go right here and we click on our button and we have a different button. Okay, so that's already not good because it's generating different buttons. So let's take a quick peek at this one. WH, that's the only thing that seems odd. Let's take a look at this one. So they actually are different. So I believe that in one of these I am just a member, and in the other one I am an admin. So I think that is the difference. So that's why the button has failed in the other one. So let's create a new subflow. So let's create this exception for, well, we just wanna, we'll remove it because it's not it's not super important to have this exception, but we'll have it anyways. So we have this, write something, save, and if that fails, we're gonna run this and try this. And here we are going to put this onto the admin. Okay, let's save it. Let's go back right here. And let's add an on error here, and we're going to add a new rule and run a subflow in the subflow that we have just created. So let's save this and let's try it one more time. So we have the two here and the other one over here, and therefore when we go to the second page, the first page and the second page theoretically now should work. I assume that the third and fourth and all of the consequent pages should work as well. So let's see what happens. We are clicking in the right place. That's great. We're adding the text. Can I automate the YouTube channel from content creation to uploading to YouTube? That's great. Are we going to click on the post button after 15 seconds? So are we clicking on it? Did it break already? I don't think it broke. I think it's just waiting for 15 seconds to load. Let's see. Yes, it's still continuing. So now it's going to wait again for 15 seconds, and then it's going to go to the next page. So why are we doing this? We are doing this to confuse Facebook, to make it think that we are human, and that we are doing this in a manual way, meaning that we are going from link to link and just opening the link, typing in something and putting the post. If we are flagged as a robot, our account might get banned or blocked for a certain amount of time. So that's why we have to take a couple of steps. If we are planning on posting on 76 groups, we have to take in some steps that will allow us to not get busted by Facebook. Now, did this break once again? Yes, it did. Why did it break? Why did it break? So it broke because it went right here. So wait, press, click on the area. So this So we should just remove this. We should just remove this because we don't need this. We don't need this. That's our page, and let's try it like this. So let's cancel this. Let's cancel this on error. We can remove this subflow. We've seen that it works. Continue flow run. No, don't continue the flow run. Just throw an error for now, but we're gonna remove this rule that we have created. All right, let's save this. Let's try our process one more time. This time it should be the good time. We can also reduce this to just 10 seconds. We could also add a little bit of a delay, but I don't want to do that right now because I want to figure out where the process is going to fail inside of our flow. All right, we are going to the page, the first page. We should be clicking in the right something. We are clicking in the right something, and now we should be writing the text. So far, so good. Now we should wait for 15 seconds for the image to load and for the post to get created. Once this is done, we should identify the post button. Let's see if it's going to do it. I have a couple of plugins as well running, like the text, the spell check plugin. It's good practice to disable these plugins before you before you automate different processes, because they do impact in the functioning, in the speed, and in also different selectors. All right. We are in another page, so let's see if it's going to break here. So we are in, it broke here, but that's because we did not save this. And let's go right here. So 5304.5, so that's, yeah, okay, it did not save the correct link. So let's close this, let's save it, and let's run it one more time. Let's run it one more time. Can we make any other improvement so far? We can do one improvement actually right here in our selector. So if we go in our selector, we can see that we could use this name and it will always find it. However, this name changes all the time. I'm wondering if we can make this name something dynamic, meaning can we capture it from, it's this title right here. Can we capture it from the page and then, yes, we can actually, and then insert it inside of the selector? Absolutely we can. Absolutely we can. So once we go to the page, we could extract this information. Well, if it fails, we kind of know what we could be doing to make it more stable. This is a really cool automation. So I really want to make it work. And hello, sir. You directly put the image. You have to click on the image icon right here. I'll show how to do it later on. So if this works successfully, meaning if it works for the next page and the next page and the next page, then I'll show how we can click on the image and also add a link and add an image as well. All right, so we made it on the first page. Now let's go to the second page, where theoretically I should not be an admin of. It's showing up this page again. I'm not sure why, but you know what? We're going to solve this issue. So all right, so let's close it. Let's close a couple of these Facebook instances that we have open, save a little bit on the memory. And here we go. So let's see it. So this is the issue, the name, this group name. So I guess that if we just uncheck this and we go right here, where is this group name? It's right here. So if we uncheck this, maybe, just maybe, and actually if we go here as well, this is a little bit of a different selector. So it has a cardinal of ordinal of 0. So let's try if we can, let's see if we can add that as well. So let's uncheck this button. Let's go to group here and let's see if we can add any value. So let's check this one out. We're trying to see where, oh, it has an ID as well. It's using an ordinal of 0. So right here in the group, it's using an ordinal of 0. Do we need it? Let's try without it, because if it works like this, then I think we're pretty much set. So let's go back here, try it out one more time. We don't need this group. And we would need an ordinal of 0, I believe. Not here, but right here. Like so. Let's not add anything weird or strange. Let's just try it like this and see what happens with our new selector. So let's select this first one that we made also. The first one that we made. And then the second that we've, yes, the first one that we made. So the first one should already break on the first page. Let's try it out with this new selector. And if this new selector doesn't work, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to debug it and see what is the issue with the selector. We're almost there, so I don't think it found the selector again. So it is being buggy, I believe. Yes, it didn't find the selector. the button was not found. So, all right, which one are we using? We're using this right something. Now, let's try making this little modification like we saw in the other one. Could be not, but let's try it out. So, not here. No, not here, but here. Just like this. Let's see what happens. It's quite it can be quite challenging to create a versatile enough selector, but there's always workarounds and different ways of doing it. So if this way doesn't work, we're gonna try a different way, and sooner or later we'll figure it out. So this happened because Facebook just had quite a large update. Okay, so this did not work. So I guess we have to play around with some exception handling. So if I go back, here and I see that this is the next page, this is the next page, and this is the next page. So okay, all right. So we have the right file. Let's make sure we are saving it in the right place as well. So we weren't saving it in the right place, that's why we're getting all of these errors. So let's save it in the right folder, in desktop folder, LinkedIn, and let's overwrite the file that we have right here. Okay, so that should be good, and that should also be good, meaning that we should select this selector, and theoretically it kind of should work. So let's review our selector one more time. We removed a group button. Okay, let's try it. See what happens. No problem. 10-1. By the way, where are you from, buddy? I am curious to know where all of the RPA champions are from. So, so let's see if this is first working. Why? Because there is RPA champions learning automation from all over the world, and I'm really curious to know how you guys are using automation, and where you guys are from. All right. So it did work on the first page, and now let's see if it's going to work on the second page. Let's click the post, and if it works on the second and third page, I think that's pretty good. Then we're going to check out the request from T to upload a picture and a video to the post. So how we can do that? It's pretty straightforward. It's Thailand, man. That's pretty cool. I have a friend in Thailand that's working at Metal Tigers, which is a mining trading company. So did this break? No, it did not break. It's working. Let's watch it make another post. Let's give it. Thailand is pretty cool. I also lived in Malaysia, and I was about to go to Singapore, but that didn't work out. I'm wondering if Thailand is opening for business and is allowing international tourism. Again, I should check that out. But if you know, yeah, type it into the chat. This is working. So let's do 2 or 3 more pages. Actually, let's stop this. Let's do the request from T, since he made that request, and then let's create a part in our Excel sheet where we are gonna keep track of all of the pages that we're going to visit. So we have this link right here that did not work, so we can actually also remove it from our Excel sheet. We don't want it messing up with our automation. So I believe it's, let's try this link. So this global 365, I think this link did not work. Let's try it out. And if this link did not work, we can just try something. Okay, so this did not work. We can remove this line. and we can save it. So let's see T's request. So let's say we want to upload a image as well. So all right, so this is kind of working more or less. We didn't really test it completely and we didn't really complete the process. But let's say we want to now add an image. So this is just adding some text. And instead of adding just some text, we also want to add an image. Now there's different ways that we could do it. We could, let's go back here. Actually, let's go back. Can we go back? Okay, we can go here. So there's different ways that I believe we can do it. We can click in here. We can wait for this to upload, and then we can click right here and just add like an image like this. Okay, and then type in the text. Alternatively, we could go here, add the image, double image, I don't know, doesn't matter. Add the image and then type in some text. So since we've already clicked in here, let's click down in this button right here. All right, so let's do that. We click right here. So my friend, this is very simple. What we're going to do is, well, very simple. That's kind of an over exaggeration, but what we are going to try to do is we are going to try to use the web recorder. Should we use the web recorder? That web recorder is not going to be very stable. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the button in the window. So go to the UI automation. Don't use browser automation. Why? Because of this. Because the selectors for Facebook have just become something like this, and it's pretty hard to work with them. So if you can see right here, this is the selector that was generated for Facebook. It just makes absolutely no sense, and it would take ages to even just try to make sense out of this. I mean, we will eventually make sense out of it and create a good selector also with this way. But if this is working, then let's just go with this way. So what we would have to do is click a UI element in a window. No, let's press a button in the window. So before we send the keys, we are going to, or after we send the keys, no, before we send the keys, and we're going to add a UI element. So simple as that. We're going to go to this right here and control and click, and this is what is going to appear: button, photo, and video. Perfect. I think that's exactly what we need. So let's save it. Button and video, and after that, what happens after that? So after that, we can click on the desktop recorder. So we have the desktop recorder now. So let's imagine we click on this, and then let's turn on the desktop recorder, and then we are going to go right here and add some text with IME. So we're going to add the path to the image that we want. So I guess I'll call this Pro and then parentheses 23, and I think this is a PNG. So we're gonna add this text. I think it's going to work like that, and after that we are going to click on this button right here, open. So that's it. I think that should do it. Let's click on finish. Yeah, browser automation, my friend. Browser automation on Facebook is a pain in the butt. Why is it a pain in the butt? Because of those selectors that we've seen. So yeah, there are really there's been a lot of bots on Facebook, and I've made countless as well, and even videos on how to do it, sharing them on Facebook as well, which is kind of not really the best idea if you don't want them to do something about it. They don't want bots on their platform, so they're doing everything that they can to prevent bots on their platform. Where did our recorded stuff go? Where is our process? So this is, I thought we just recorded the actions and they didn't show up. So is this our process? Post to Facebook, and what is the other one? Post to Facebook version. Oh, that was the old one. Okay. My bad, ladies and gentlemen. I've used it, but I can just copy and paste it into the other process. So if you didn't know that you can copy and paste things from one process to the other, well, now you know you can copy and paste things from one process to the other. Now we forgot to do any kind of weights here, so this might be a little bit tricky. So we are clicking on the button, we are filling in, and we are clicking on open, and then we are sending in keys. That is bound to break because there's a little bit too much action going on, but let's try it out anyways and see how it behaves. And if that's not enough, what we have done, in just to recap, in the past hour, we have created from scratch a automation on Facebook that is going to create a post. Well, it's going to upload a picture. All right, let's create. It is clicking a little bit too much. So let's fix this part. So let's leave right here. So let's see what happened. Okay, so we have okay. All right, it was going a little bit too quickly. So here we click on the text area afterwards. We wait for the text area to appear. Well, we can wait for the text area, I guess. The text area is always going to be there. So we need to add a couple of weights. So let's do it let's wait for an image. Let's wait for a window. Let's see what kind of different weights we have. So UI automation. UI, wait for window content, wait for image, or wait for window. I guess we're waiting for the content. Let's just add 2 seconds and not have to think about it too much, right? Let's just add 2 seconds. However, if anybody has an idea of a dynamic weight that we could add here, do let me know. So we're gonna wait for 2 seconds for this to open and kind of load, and that should actually be enough. Let's try it out one more time and see what happens. It's launching Facebook. It should click on the no, not yet. It should click on write something. It's uploading the image. It's putting the text. Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, this turned out to be a pretty good robot. What's up, buddy? I think that's Thai. Z. That voice. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, but we can translate it. So did this work? All right, let's watch it go to the next page. Let's change the image, make something meaningful. All right, so this did work. That's great. Now it did not work. Wait a second. This is actually a pretty funny video. Let's see how it's going to turn out. Well, we don't have time for that. It is interesting though. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Back to us. So what happened? It did not find the text area. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So click link on web page. So that's what we have to do. Where did it fail? So press button, write something, and then click on text area. Wait for web button. We can remove this, all the things that we don't need, so that this process is a little bit less confusing. Where did it break? So let's also close this. We're not working on this, and that's also going to confuse us less. So, all right. Where did it break? It click link in tech. Was I running this process or the other process? Not sure. Let's leave this. text area should work. Let's try it. Let's try it. So it is, for some reason, it redirected me somewhere else. All right. Anyways, we'll see if it's going to work on the first one. The first one worked fine. Let's see if it's going to work on the second one. We're opening the image. We're going to put the image that we need. Now we're going to also, one last thing that we're going to do is actually change that image and make it so that we keep track in Facebook, in an Excel sheet everywhere where we're leaving our post. Why? So that we know where we posted and we can continue from there. Is this waiting or did it break? Let's give it 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. All right, it did not break. All right, we posted it. Now we should go to the next page. And my idea was that on the next page it broke for some reason, maybe because I was clicking around or why ever. So, all right, let's see if it's going to work. So I believe this is where it broke last time. And I believe this is where it broke this time as well. So this is why it's breaking. So it's not pushing the button, or it is pushing the button, but it's maybe doing it too fast. So let's go back to our process and let's add a wait of 2 seconds. Before we push this button. So we should also wait for this button to appear, right? Press the button in window, wait for the page to have this content, wait for 2 seconds, push the button and wait for another 2 seconds. Kind of cheeky, but we want to make it as stable as possible, meaning that maybe it works on 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, and then on page number 7 it doesn't work anymore. What we're trying to do is build the automation that is going to work on every single page, so that it's an automation and not just a fake bot. All right, first one is good. It's clicking on the first one. Now I will position my mouse right here and see how this is. Well, I can't, otherwise I will distract it. The first post went successfully. Let's see the well, thank you, sir. I'm glad that I've solved your problem. The other post, all right, this other post, we've made this post like 100 times on this page, so that's good. We know that it works on the first page. Let's go to the second page, please. Please, automation, go to the second page. All right, we are on the second page. We're waiting 2 seconds, and okay, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It was about the wait. So we don't want to post this on this page, so we're making our process more and more stable. So that's amazing. What we want to do is we want to update this Excel sheet with the information where we are saving our data, right? So let's not close the Excel sheet. We are not opening it as read only. Let's close the Excel sheet at the end of our process. Let's also close the browser at the end of our process, so it's going to be a nice clean automation. We go to browser automation and we just drag and drop this in here. So now what we want to do is we want to write in our Excel sheet at the end of our, once all of these steps have executed correctly, we want to write in our Excel sheet in the column next to our link, we want to write something like uploaded or okay or get rich die trying, something along those lines. All right. So let's do that. Let's go to Excel, and very easily and quickly we're just going to add right to Excel sheet. We have the Excel sheet already open from previously. Value to write, we're going to write uploaded on a specific cell in column B and in row, and we're going to get this row dynamically. So we're going to start with row 1, and every row we're going to increment by 1, I guess, and like that we will know until where we got. Let's try with that. I think there might be a better way of doing it, but we're gonna try with this. We're also gonna increase that variable. We don't have the variable yet, so we can't add it. So let's create a new variable. Let's set a new variable at the beginning of our page, right here. So we're gonna set this variable. We're gonna call this variable increment, and this is going to be an increment for our lines in Excel. Not the best way to do it actually. We can use also current item 0, and that. Should we try actually to do that? Let's do it like this for now. So what we could do also is maybe go right here and go to current item 01, then it is going to go to 02 and so on, always staying with the loop. But doesn't matter, row, we're going to go like right here, and we're going to go on the current increment variable that we created. So that's going to be 1, and once we add an increase variable in the next loop, that row is going to be 2. All right, so fair enough. So here we have our increment variable. We're going to increment it by 1, and that's that. So we are writing now on a specified cell uploaded grade in our Excel sheet right here, so that we know that we can take this URL. Now the next thing that we should do is actually add a check here and only go to the page if the value is present, or if the value is not present in column B. So what we can do is, let's see what kind of ifs we have. So let's go right here. Let's just type in if and see what kind of ifs we have. If, else if, well, we can use just a basic if process, if exists. All right. I think that just general if would be enough. So we're gonna check if, but we also need to go into the row, and we're not doing that. So why we're not doing that? We're just getting the first row, and we'll have to get the selection. So let's not do that for the time being. Let's just test this and see if the process that we... Hello, TNT. Awesome, thank you for joining. By the way, TNT, in this video or in this live stream, we've seen how to upload photos into your Facebook posts. I think that was one of the things that you were asking as well. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. And yeah, if you want, just review a little bit back and see what we were doing previously. All right, we got this. What we just want to do is we want to change the image, because the image is pretty lame that we are using right here. So right here, what we want to do is we want to change that image to something else. Let's go, let me find an image that I would actually like to use. So what is this? This is for the YouTube channel. So by the way, if anybody didn't know, I did create a automated YouTube channel with the help of a buddy of mine, and it's doing pretty great. It actually has more views than the RPA champion. I will show it to you guys in a second. Let me just find the image that I would like to upload, together with this post. Now this seems to be a the most challenging thing in this process seems to be finding the right image to upload, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll get there, and if we don't, I will also give you a little bit of insight in how I create the images for my YouTube channel. So I go to Canva, and if you didn't know Canva, now you know it's a completely free suite that allows you to create all kinds of images, banners, and everything very quickly. So where is our automated YouTube channel? Let's get that picture Here it is. So it's page 20. Let's download it. We're gonna be using, oh my goodness. So we're gonna be using that image and uploading that image in our post. So let's go to, we're not gonna download all of these images, we're just going to download image 20. And let's download it. So that's just a little bit of a side information. This is how I create the posts for my videos. If you guys enjoy my thumbnails or have any suggestions on how to make them better, I am listening to the RPA champions all the time, obviously. So here in our downloads or in our pictures, or where the hell did we download that? Now let's find where we downloaded that picture. I think I have lost it. I'm not really sure where it's downloading. So let me try to find it. Maybe on the desktop, in the documents, in the it's in the downloads folder. All right, that's great. So it's right here in the downloads folder. Which is actually pretty great because all we have to do is just change this 23 to 24 because that's the new name of the image. It's this one right here, and there we go. All right, so I think that should do it. So now we should also see in our Excel file get updated as well, and then the next thing that we should do is just make sure that every time we run this, it only goes in the rows where our Excel file hasn't been updated. And that would mean that we have built a pretty solid automation, meaning that we can trigger it pretty much anytime we want. It can get blocked by Facebook after 20 tries. We can restart it in half an hour, in an hour, do another 20, and so continue posting as much as we want. All right, so so far so good. We've seen that we can do this first part pretty well. The image is successfully the correct image. Yo, Zappy boy, I am not really sure what you are trying to say, but if you need some help, I can help you out. You just gotta type in English. Anyways, let me see if I can. I thought there was an option from YouTube to translate comments. No, there isn't. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyways, back to here. Let's see it go to the next page, and then I guess we're gonna just let it do its thing, meaning we're just gonna let it post and post until infinity and beyond. All right, so let's see if it's going to work on this one as well. It's clicking in the text. It shouldn't be clicking in the text there. Actually, the text should be clicking it later on. So it clicked in the text again, doesn't matter, it's fine. So we do have one action that is maybe an extra action. That is the action of clicking in the text initially. It's not doing any damage so far, but it is an extra step, and it is an extra reason why a robot could fail. So remember, anybody on this live stream or anybody that's watching it later, the least steps you have in your automation or in your robot, the better your robot is going to work. Now, did this break? Uploaded. All right. Now let's see in our process. Fail to write text in text area. Now let's see why is that. So we went to the page, wait for this to appear, we waited, and then it said failed to write no, it's here actually the mistake. Okay, so why did it fail to write into Excel? That's so it should insert it in row 2. Why did it fail? Let's check it out. So it's saying that it's not. I'm really not understanding this error. But the increment is set to 0, so that's probably why it's wrong. The increment should not be set to 0. Why is the increment set to 0? Well, let's find out. So this is incrementing at 1. And do we go to web page, wait for web page, press button, wait. Let's add also maybe some nodes like this, or how about we go right here at the bottom and we add some flow control. So let's go to flow control and add some comments. So that's just going to allow us to visualize our process a little bit better. So this is where the text area begins. So this is where our comment or our input begins. So we're going to put it input right there, and then just for me, I'm going to add Excel. That's just for me, so that I can when I take a look at this process, I can understand it. I can understand it better on the fly. So we are starting this increment at 1. So in the next round, the increment should be at 2. So let's track our process. So what we are going to do is we're going to do something like this, and we're gonna watch it side by side and see how it behaves. All right. So let's do that. Let's click on the play. We're opening this. We're gonna minimize it on the side, and let's see what happens. We have the increment set to 1. That's great. It's working fine so far. It's inserting the text. Okay. We're waiting for 15 seconds. It's actually much nicer and easier to see the automation flow like this, because we know what is going on. Now it's waiting for 10 seconds. Okay, now it should write in the Excel sheet in the first row, and then the increment should become 2. Why did ladies and gentlemen, why has no RPA champion told me about this? We have a decrease variable. What we should be having is an increase variable. RPA champions, are you paying attention or are you not paying attention? So let's add this increment right here and increment by 1, and that should solve all of our issues. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I do not have COVID. I am fully vaccinated. Are you guys fully vaccinated or not? I really don't care, but I do care about your health. So do whatever you think is best. So Facebook groups, let's not save this. So we see that it worked. One last thing that we should, I guess, do inside of our process is in Excel data we have this. This is what we have in Excel data. Can we not open this? Let's save our process before Power Automate crashes, so that our work is saved. I do have another 9 minutes on this live stream, so if there's anybody that has questions, make sure to ask them right now. Yes, indeed, increase and decrease. The decrease is not gonna work that well. Now it's taking its sweet time as always. Hopefully it is not going to crash and we're not going to lose all of the work that we have done so far on this process. Why? Because I also need this process for myself. So I was building this for myself as well, and it would have sucked that it kind of broke. 1 5 row and 16 row and 11 15 row. I'm not really sure what you mean, but I can show you what I have in the Excel data. So we're gonna have to run this again and add a breakpoint right here. And I can show you the Excel data, not one. Okay, I think you have more columns in your Excel sheet. So let's see if we can open this. So this is what we have in our Excel sheet. So now if we want to make an improvement to our automation, what we want to do is, let's just try this in the end. So what we want to do is, here there's going to be uploaded, and I think we did it to the first and the second. So we're gonna save this file like this, and what we want to do is now do a check that if column B is here, skip these two guys and go directly to the next one. Doesn't sound that hard, but sometimes things turn out to be harder than predicted. So let's stop this. Let's close a couple of these. And what we have to do is, first we have to change this. So we don't want to read anymore just column A. We want to read column A and column B. Now this is going to be a little bit different also here. So current item, I think we have to do current item column 1. So let's try, let's see what is going to happen. Column 1. And it's called, I think, something like this. So you need multiple rows. I got it. So you don't need just good morning, Danny from Brazil. Hope you're doing good. So you don't need just like row from 1 to 5, but you need like row from 1 to 5, then 6 to 10, 11 to 15, skipping some rows. Now my suggestion is, don't attempt to do this with automation. Try to get a clean, well, yeah, of course you can do it with automation, but try to get a clean file and use a clean file so that you do as little steps as possible in this automation. Anyways, let's try. This is not working because we forgot to add this right here. Let's run this. Let's close a couple of Excel sheets that are all closed, and let's see what we have. So 72 rows and 2 columns, column 1 and column 2. That's pretty much what we need, and what we also need to rename this. So we need to rename this. We can take away this. We could also call it 0. Let's see if this is going to work just like this. So if that works just like that, let's add a breakpoint right there, and then we're going to add our if condition. So it has opened in another page. There we go. It's opening the Excel sheet. It's going to the, nice, it has worked. Let's stop it and let's add the final check. So let's close all of our Excel sheets. Let's make this full screen, and then we're gonna add an if. So if, well, what we should also do is we should also get a value. So let's set a variable. Let's set a variable. I'm doing it like this just because I think I can understand it better. I can understand it better myself like this. So set variable, what we are going to do is here call it uploaded, click on save, and inside of this we're going to use the current item, and we're going to go to column 2. Okay, so we're going to go to column 2, and if this variable is empty, so there is nothing in there, then we are going to go here. Otherwise, we are going to go and skip all the way to the increase and continue like that. Our process is getting a little bit more twisted with the logic and everything, but it's going to be working just fine. Set variable, and now let's add an if. So if, and we're gonna do this. If this operator upload is empty, doesn't end with is empty, okay, if it's empty, then we are going to do all of these things until here. Okay, let's try this one more time. So if that variable is empty, then we're going to go to the web page, we're going to make the comment, we're going to update Excel. Otherwise, we're just going to skip to the next row, right? So I think that should do it. So we should skip for the first two. So it's going to set the variable uploaded to current item in column 2. So it's going to be uploaded. Uploaded is not empty, so it's going to go until the end. It's going to increase, and it's going to go to the next current item. It's going to check it, and then it's going to go to the next one. Let's cross our fingers that this is going to work, because if this works, we build actually something pretty cool. We build a much better version of the previous Facebook post to multiple Facebook groups automation. So that's actually pretty great. And in, oh my goodness, what is this? So okay, so we have it actually did work. So let me show you what I mean. It went to this link right here. So this link right here, we are going to delete it because it's blocked. We're gonna close this, close this, close this, and try our process one more time. Let's try it out. And we will know also exactly on which groups we managed to post and on which we didn't manage to post. So let's see how that behaves. All right, so we are on a new page. I'm not really sure what happened here. Why did we go down? Okay, I am actually pretty sure that what happened. So what happened here is we have an issue with our selector. That is actually pretty much a shame, because I thought that we've built a good enough selector. But what we can do is we can go right here and we can select the ordinal, and we can update this. Should be maybe ordinal of 0. Let's try this process, and it will run exactly from where we left off. So it's not going to go through the beginning of the what do you mean go to? You mean like skip and go to? This is being pretty annoying. Now let's try to fix this. So let's first of all find out why this selector is not working. So let's go to add UI elements, and let's go right here to this button right here, and let's try to capture it. Okay, so we have button 3. All right, done. Let's save it. Let's take a peek inside of button 3. So it's different than the other. It has this it has this ordinal value of 3, so that's right here equals to 3. Why does it equal to 3? Let's try to figure out that. It's a third thing, probably one of the three things that is visualized. So let's try to fix it. Let's review our previous one. So our previous one didn't have a ordinal value. Now it had something like this that did not work, and this also worked on the first ones. So this works on some, and this works on some other ones. So what we can do is we can add some exception handling, right? We can try either the 0 or the 3. So right here we're going to add our 3, and then right here we're going to add an exception, continue flow on error. Well, don't continue flow on error, but run a subflow and run this. So let's see, write something, save, go back here, just make sure. Okay, so that's actually wrong. We want to use this selector right here. So that's our original selector. That's the one that we've used initially. It has a ordinal value of 0 right here, and oddly enough this one has an ordinal value of 3 right here. That's fair enough. Can we do without this? I think that might be too little, because there's other parts in the page that say write something. All right, let's try it like this and see how it behaves. So let's close also our Excel sheet. Another one is going to be open, and now okay, label and go. So yes, could have been done with label and go. I think it's more solid to do it with the it's more solid to do it with the if and then. Why? Because the label and go has no end, meaning that it can enter into an infinite loop and just go until infinity. So we did this first 2 pages, and then we are crashing on this multi-power platform page. So let's see what is the issue. So we go right here, and the button was not found again, which this button. So all right, then in that case we're gonna have to do something else. So let's use tabs at this point. So this is going to be the backup. Tack, 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 tack. That's quite a lot of tabs actually to get to where we want to be, to get to right here, and then enter. We could do it like that. That could be our backup. Let's try it. This is sneaky and kind of not the best way, but I'm kind of fed up with these selectors. I want an exception way that is going to always work. I'm also running kind of out of time on this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 tabs. My goodness. So let's go to sand keys. If I knew that I was gonna get into the send keys, I would have chosen a different process. So let's send the tab, function key, numerical. Where is the tab? Space, enter, back, escape, home, and insert the lead tab. Here we go. What was the number? 24 times, 25 times? Does anybody remember? Please, ladies and gentlemen, tell me that you remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one more row like this, and 5 more, 3 and 5. And then we hit an enter. Oh my goodness, how I don't like this. Okay, we are also going to, yes, absolutely send them as keystrokes, and we can keep this quick. So let's try. This is going to be our exception. After that, we're going to work a little bit on this selector because I haven't given up hope on the selector. So let's see what happens. So we are going to the page. No, oh no, we are at the wrong page. No, we are going to the correct page right now. This is the page from before. All right, now it's tabbing. Is it going to start tabbing? So it worked, ladies and gentlemen. It worked. That's pretty cool. Now let's see the process continue. So now theoretically, well, not theoretically, practically, yeah, it's in the flow control. But practically right now we've built an exception handle for our selector that in case it doesn't find that selector, it is going to tab through the page, and obviously if the page has different elements on it, the tabbing is not going to work. But let's see what happens. Let's see where our process is going to break. So here we are at another page. Let's see. Well, at this page it found the selector, and it's going to continue getting the image, writing the text. And Herman, what's up, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you all RPA champions for tuning in today. We are doing something pretty cool, and just as a recap of what we have done so far we've created a fully working, well, we are going to find out if it's fully working or not right now. So right now we can see that it was kind of a little bit delayed, our process. Is this nonsense still working? It is still working. So I think it's in the waiting of 10 seconds. So now it should go to the next page. We can also take a peek at our Excel sheet. It's uploading, it's keeping track everywhere where we are creating a post, so that next time we can continue from it. I'm also doing great. Thank you for joining. And by the way, I think you're from Latin America. Remind me from where? Is it Chile or somewhere else? Anyways, the process so far seems to be pretty solid. We're gonna let it run for thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We're gonna let it run for maybe another couple of minutes, tries, just to make sure that it's working properly. And then we can give ourselves a high five because we've created a new and improved automation that is going to post to LinkedIn groups, is going to add an image, and also it is not going to break. So saving us a lot of time. I imagine that everybody thanks Danny for your support. Oh yeah, South Africa, man. Yeah, that's right. Cool country. I hope you're staying safe, by the way. Yeah. So I hope that everybody that is in this chat and in this live stream today, everybody is doing some sort of kind of marketing and pushing their content through the different pages. So if you guys also have some ideas about other ways of how we can create lead generations, how we can get more traffic, how we can promote our content, yeah, let me know, and I'll try to recreate it because I'm always on the lookout for new ways of. Is this working or did it break here? No, seems to be working, but it's stuck somewhere. So I think it's not finding the selector, or it just got stuck for whatever reason. Power Automate would get stuck. So we have it right here. It's waiting for the web page. Oh, okay. So here we have another little issue. So it's never going to appear right something because for some reason on this page it says create a public post. Well, I mean, thank you Facebook for making it a little bit extra interesting for us. So well, we can wait forever for this to appear. So this is also, I guess, it's not going to work on that page either, because here we are waiting for the button to write something. So let's just check it out. We are going to write here, and yeah, we are looking for the write something. But in case it doesn't have it, we have our exception. Now let's build something similar to that here as well. So we can add like 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a lot. We can add like 5 seconds for the page to load. Well, you never know. It's many pages, so it can... yes, I remember, so. We can add different intervals. And by the way, yeah, okay, so 10 seconds. Sorry guys, I got distracted in the chat, but I'm back with you guys. So 10 seconds, write something. That's kind of garbage. So if that is garbage, let's add an exception, or can we just altogether disable this and just add a wait and make it a little bit more flexible? Now let's add an exception. So also right here on error we can add a new rule and run a subflow. Or how about can we use a variable in here, write something? We can use this variable, or it could be create a public post. So it could be either one or the other. So how can we do that without... All right, ladies and gentlemen, we can add an exception. Let's add a subflow, and we're just going to do it like we did with the other one. Exception, let's call it exception for wait. Exception for wait. We are complicating our life a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because we want to make the process as stable and work on all of the pages. And if that is the objective, we have to go through this kind of things. Contains, and let's go back here. It really doesn't write a public comment. Yeah, create a post. Create a public post and then 3 dots. So let's just type it in manually inside of our process. So we can also close a couple of these, and we can add create a public post and then 3 dots. Is it really like this? Write something and 3 dots. I believe it is. Anyways, we will know because we are going to start from exactly where we left off now. Let's save. Let's close this and let's save this process. So we can't save as because it's open in another. It hasn't been closed properly basically. So we're just going to call it Facebook Groups 2. and let's save it. So you have saved, file isn't saved, save for save. I don't think that we were. Yes, the RPA champion is live again. Thank you, Fluttermap, for joining it, and for anybody that is in the chat. Just a reminder: if you're trying to learn Flutter, Fluttermap is the place to go. Not just for learning, but also to get some educational and entertaining content as well. If you want to hear a French guy speaking in English, Fluttermap is the place to go. So yes, thank you for joining in, and Fluttermap, you might also benefit from this process. This process will allow you to share information on all of the different Facebook groups that you want. So we're trying to build like a very stable process. So today's stream has been almost 2 hours long, but never mind. Let's refresh our processes and let's check out our process one more time. That is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. That is simply amazing. Automation is great. Yes. Yes, I love you, all of you RPA champions. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing because you are learning automation and you're giving yourself a competitive advantage compared to the fools that are gonna get themselves replaced by a UiPath, Power Automate, Blue Prism, and so on bot, coupled with other services as well. So let's just give this one final kick to the can, and I think that will be it for today. So on error, let's do this. Let's add a new rule. Let's run a subflow and let's try it like this. It should continue exactly from the place where we left off. Let's try it out, see what happens. If it works, that's amazing. If it doesn't work, well, I leave it up to you to fix it because I gotta go have lunch. So far, so good. Okay. So far, so good. Yes, indeed. Well, so far it's working. I think I can lean back in my chair, and actually before going for lunch, I will be going for a jog outside. It's a beautiful day here in the hills of Verona in Italy. It's a beautiful sunny day, and it will be a great shame not to go outside and have a run. So that's what we're going to be doing after this live stream. I invite all of the RPA champions to do something similar. No, it will not be lunch, it will not be pizza this time. It is a mystery lunch, meaning that I will be opening the fridge, and whatever is in the fridge, that will become the lunch. That just lets you know that the lunch is not going to be anything special. So this is working so far. I think we have to wait for one more post because we didn't save the Excel file on which we were working right here. This is the Excel file. So we have to redo the pages where we created our automations previously. Doesn't really matter. We are making a second post in the same page. Doesn't really matter. Not a big deal. But also, since this is working on the majority of pages, we could have another easier workaround that might not work on all of the pages, but it will get our process from the end until the finish. That is a really good question. My YouTube goal before the end of the year is to reach 10,000 followers. Now that sounds super challenging, especially because there is one month remaining, but Yes, exactly. So before I answer you, Herman, just to touch back on Flutter Maps comment, uh, but yeah, I will have to. I'm changing a little bit the strategy to reach the 10,000 followers before the end of the year. That leaves almost a month, which is approximately 30 days. That means that. I need to get like between like 50, 60, 70 subscribers a day if I want to reach that milestone. Right now we're not really we're not really, well, way more than that actually. We're not really on track for the 10,000 milestone. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, but we will reach it. It doesn't really matter if we haven't reached it so far, but it doesn't matter if we don't reach it by the end of the year, because that will tell me that my content that I'm creating is not good enough for more people to watch. So I'm expecting from all of the RPA champions to give me feedback and input on how to make this stuff better. Did our process break right here? No, it is still kind of stuck in a loop, and we can see that here. Let's just save this. We've done all of this so far. And in a previous video, that's a good suggestion, Flanaman. Just to reply to Herman, we did it in the original how to post the YouTube. We created a comment in the second column, so that one column was associated with the comment and one with the link where we want to go. That turned out, since I'm posting the same message to all of the groups, I prefer to do it the other way, meaning putting the message inside of the automation, the Power Automate automation. So that's actually this is a pain in the butt, because this what we're going to do here is we're going to do this, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to just disable this action. We are going to come right here, and we are going to go on error, continue this flow, and now we are making it so that our flow is going to work until the end of the 76 rows. So it's not going to work on all of them. On the ones that doesn't work, it's okay, and we'll also know until where our process went. So continue flow on run. So what we're doing right now is we're just making it run all the way until the bottom. And tell me, guys, if you are interested. My next video, I was planning on doing a clean install of Windows 11. Why is that? Because Windows 11 has Microsoft Power Automate Desktop installed, and that will also be for a broader audience as well. Let me know if that is a video that could be interesting for you guys, because you guys are my audience, not anybody, not other people that are still not watching this channel. So, and I guess we wait for 10 seconds and then we just write to the Excel worksheet. Not really the best process. Okay, all right. I think we have it. So right now it should theoretically go until infinity, our process. So let's see what happens. It should go directly to the page where we left off last time, meaning that crappy page that has that text that we don't know how to, that changed. It says create public post instead of write something. So what we are just going to do, I believe, is we're just going to skip through all of those steps. Doesn't matter. So we're just going to skip through this page because we can't be bothered to create the automation that is going to work for every single page, but we can absolutely we can. So we will just create an exception here. That is a interesting challenge, Flutter Map. Posting every day until the end of the year is a challenging thing, but that would mean maintaining a certain level of quality. Yo, thank you, Herman. Thank you so much, buddy. I truly appreciate. And you know that whenever you have automation challenges or questions, or you wanna create something in automation, you can drop me a line or a question or a message, and I'll be more than happy to help you out and work together. But yeah, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. That is a pretty good challenge, Mr. Flutter Map. It would your channel has some really great content. I don't think you will be able to maintain the quality of your content and your channel that good if you want to post every single day. I am going to be doing streams as often as possible, mainly almost every single day. I can dedicate 1 to 2 hours to a stream. It's not that big of a deal, especially because I'm creating the robots anyway. So sharing it and doing it together than just doing it by myself is just more interesting and more fun. What's going on here? So okay, so here we go. We should do one more modification. Let's move this weight and let's add a 2 seconds weight. So yeah, we're not really using the best things, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I believe that was saved, so I think we should continue from the process where we left off. Let's see. Hell yeah! Show those ideas right over here, man. I'm looking for a new challenge after that. After the YouTube automated channel, I'm really interested in knowing what other kind of people have their minds wrapped around and what they see as potential opportunities for automation. So this is now, this time this should cycle through all of the steps and just go to the next page and see if on the next page it is going to work or if it's going to break on the next page as well. If it breaks on the next page as well, ladies and gentlemen, that is unfortunate, pretty unfortunate. I have my fingers crossed that it's not going to break on the next page, but if it does, we'll have to just do more exception handling and just more integration. And then theoretically, when we go what happened here? So that's also pretty weird. I'm not really sure what happened. It kind of worked, it kind of didn't work. We uploaded it, we managed to upload it, looks like. So now we should go to a new page, lead generation. All right, let's go to the new page. All right, we're at this page right here. So okay, so it did not work on this. Yes, for sure. No, sir, I don't choke the challenge. I accept the challenge. The challenge will be to post YouTube content, either a live stream or a video, every single day until the end of the year. What is also possible in the challenge right now is that we can post 2 videos in one day and therefore skip one day. Do you accept Fluttermap this challenge, or this challenge is a little bit too much for you to handle? Icarus 1.0. So let's see here what's gonna happen next. So we are having a little bit of a hard time with our selector. So probably the next thing that I will do is just create a better selector. I cannot be bothered to do it anymore. So let me just wait for the next page and see if the flow is gonna work on the next page. If it doesn't work on the next page as well, then let's see. Let's just see. So All right, on this page it worked. So kind of, this is kind of a little bit of that's quite that's an interesting proposition. That's an interesting proposition, sir, but why wait until the 29th? That is my only question. Why wait until the 29th and not start immediately? Have you got an answer for me there, sir? Let's just start immediately and not wait until the 29th. Okay, so this is working. Let's just see one more page, and based on that one more page, we'll decide if this is a good automation or a bad automation. It's a good automation, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good automation because it has worked on this page as well. It's going to upload the picture, it's going to put in the text, it's going to add in the link to our video, and we are doing just more promotion for our YouTube, not YouTube channel, but for our automated YouTube video. For anybody watching, if you haven't seen it, we've created Hypernews. Hypernews is a channel that is completely run with automation. It uploads and creates content. Whenever there is a new news created on a portal that we've selected, it creates the file automatically, it creates a video and uploads it to YouTube. Now let's see one more of these. So let's see if it's going to work on this one as well. That's pretty great, ladies and gentlemen. I can let this run on all of the 76 pages. I can take a little break and go for my running activities. Add some music maybe in the background. Add some music in the background and see you guys later. Don't forget to drop any questions in the chat. When I will be back, I will be checking out the chat to see if there is any questions, and I will try to answer to all of the questions that I get as always. So let's add some inspirational music. And let me know if you can hear the inspirational music. I'm not 100% sure that is being played. So is this still working? Let's make it a little bit better by doing this. So let's watch it side by side and see how it. Let's just see how it behaves. All right, I am back already, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, deal, we start today. All right, Flutter Map, sir, you are on. I am expecting to see some content on the Flutter Map channel today. All right, let's navigate to the next page and let's see if we are going to be able to post something in this page. Well, here we don't have the ability to post anything, so it is just going to cycle through this page and go to the next page. So probably we don't have the rights to publish in this group. It's maybe a closed group or a member only group. So let's see what happens on the next page. One issue here is that we have that right now we're going to be sending some keystrokes into the web browser that might mess up a little bit that might mess up a little bit our browser. I also want to remind you all that if you are interested in my Power Automate Flow and Desktop course, it's pretty interesting. It has everything from how to get started with Flow and Desktop, and also how we can use AI inside of our processes. Those courses are available both on Skillshare and on Udemy. So don't forget to check out inside of any one of my videos the link to those courses as well. And it's always good to do a little bit of publicity for the content that I have created in the past. I am creating a new training, actually two new training. One is going to be in Portuguese, and I'm creating it with one of my Portuguese friends, and the other training is going to be on chatbots and is going to be in English. The one in Portuguese is going to be really interesting. It's going to be the introductions to web automation, and we're going to be doing all kinds of different web automations. So it will be a great place to start automating different technologies from Java to all kinds of different technologies that you'll find online, and how to deal with different issues that present themselves. So again, we are here again on another page that we can't comment on. Doesn't really matter, it's not a big deal. We're just going to skip that page and go to another page. Now there's also different ways that we could also improve our flow right now. I'm sure many ways come to your mind as well. Some of the ways that come to my mind right now is that if we don't actually make a post on that page, not to leave a post, so that next time we can just remove that link, or we create a post saying that like post failed, and then it just moves on to the next one. So we could have one kind of like final exception, that if this post button fails all the way in the end, it updates the Excel file and it adds not uploaded. And to all of the ones that we did not upload anything, we can remove them eventually from the Excel file and have a clean Excel file. One thing also that we did not see how to do in this automation or in this process is how we can extract dynamically the different Facebook groups from our list of groups. Now initially I did not think about using a robot, so I manually clicked on every single link and got the URL and put it in an Excel sheet. But then I started joining more groups, and by joining more groups I had more URLs, so there would be absolutely no way of me doing that ever again. So probably in one of the next streams we're going to see how to do that initial part of the process as well, and we are going to add it into this part of the process so that we can have a truly fully automated LinkedIn group posting mechanism. That will be pretty insane and pretty cool. And now we can also see that the automation has been working for quite some time now. It has uploaded the comment to quite a few pages. It skipped the ones that it was not able to upload, where we didn't have the rights and so on, so we didn't have to build the permissions. It also didn't work on maybe some weird pages, like the ones where instead of saying write something it says create public content. I have no idea for what reason only that page out of all of the pages that we visited had that different text. But yeah, it had it. We skipped it. We're not actually gonna even be bothered with it. Our process is working 90% of the time, and sorry, it is working like 90% of the time. So we don't really have to make it work for 100% of the exceptions. This is another concept in automation. You should not expect your automation to be working on 100% of the cases that you have. Why? Because not all of the cases are identical in many processes. So usually expect that there should be between 5 to 10% of cases that we are not going to be worked in be able to be worked with an automation. And yeah, Facebook. What do you mean? Facebook wants me to pay? Facebook is already stealing our data. But yeah, this thing is still flying, is still going, is still uploading comments for anybody that thought this was not possible with the new updates from Facebook. Probably also soon enough we are going to run into a so probably we're gonna sooner or later we're gonna run out oh, so what if you wanna post to multiple groups, Facebook asks you to pay? Well, that's pretty cheeky of them. I thought that they were a social network for spreading information and not a yeah, whatever, and not a marketing company aimed at profit maximization. But yeah, I guess they are a profit company aimed at profit maximization. But nonsense apart, let's see how our Excel sheet is going. So one thing with our Excel sheet right now is that we are up to like page 18. It's saying that it uploaded all of the pages, even the ones. Oh, I didn't know that. So actually, let's just pause for 1 second. So if Facebook is, I'm gonna have to look into that. If Facebook is asking you to pay to upload to multiple Facebook groups, what we are doing right now is saving money, not just saving time. So man, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I had no idea that the losers from Facebook, well, not the losers, the engineers from Facebook and the strategy guys from Facebook would have decided to do something actually so cheeky and so lame. And that they also tried to prevent robots on their platform by creating those crazy selectors that we've seen previously. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is working pretty well. I'll let it run here for another couple of minutes, just to see if we get any other kind of strange exception or strange issue that we should work, modify, or elaborate on. But yeah, the process, as you can see, seems to be kind of stable, seems to be working pretty well, seems to be going through quite a large amount of the pages on the pages as well. And let's watch it for 1 or 2 more pages, and I think that will be, and then I think we can call it a day. So yeah, it is posting in RPA Czechoslovakia. Thank you guys from RPA Czechoslovakia for hosting my content. Well, wait, Herman, you don't have to build it. So why don't I just give you this process that I've made? I extract it and I just share it with you so that you have it as well. The only thing that I'm thinking of that would be required would be to share the Excel file as well, or that you put your own things in the Excel file. For the rest of the things, I think you could import this process and use it. So here we have something that was unexpected. So we could have clicked like right here, start discussion. So we gave it a little boost right there. So this is something that we could have kept in mind. So if we were actually building a process that had to work on all of the different cases, we would, in the first round, we would sit here and watch it roll through the different cases, and then yeah, and then we would change it and make it so that when it comes to this kind of example, it can behave in a certain way. But yeah, I was also planning on creating a I'll tell you guys in a second. I was also planning on creating an automation that is on taking all of these automations that I am building and making them available. So I'll try to export this one and I'll try to see if I can share it, or if I can create an export of it and import it into a different environment, and it will still work. Maybe a video about it, or I did make a video about it, but I'm not sure if it's possible to do between different environments. So I'm going to try to export it, and if it works, that's great. I'll set up the RPA Champion page, a place where you can download all of these processes as well. So yeah, this seems to be working so far so good, and yeah, we can be pretty happy with what we have inside of this process. RPA champions, ladies and gentlemen, RPA super champions. It's easy. What is easy? So you mean to export and import the process? But yeah, anyways, we can continue this conversation in LinkedIn or in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, RPA champions, thank you so much for tuning in. You can copy it to Notepad. I had no idea about that. You can copy the process from Power Automate Desktop into Notepad, and then what? You can copy paste it in another notepad and have the same process. Herman, if that is actually like I understand it, if what you're saying is what I'm understanding, that would be something kind of quite revolutionary, because I've had quite a lot of issues in sharing processes with different colleagues and clients and so on and so on. Oh my goodness. All right. That is going to be the first thing that I will be doing after this stream. I will not be even getting lunch. So I will be researching how we can share processes by putting them inside of Notepad. I knew that you could copy paste, but I had no idea that you could copy the process, paste it inside of Notepad, and then paste it back inside of Power Automate. I imagine that we should have the same versions to do that. So in theory, then I can just paste the process in the chat as well. So I'll do some research on this, what kind of information is pasted and everything like that. And yeah, I would love to share these processes with you guys, the RPA. Yeah, please share me the website either here in the chat so that it stays forever on YouTube, or you can send it to my LinkedIn or share it on Discord as well. But yeah, the process is, by the way, it's still going strong. It doesn't seem to be breaking anywhere, so I'm expecting it to run all the way until LinkedIn blocks us. So, well, not LinkedIn, Facebook blocks us. So we can see that we've made approximately more or less, like, I'm gonna tell you guys in a second. I just don't want to click anywhere because, okay, so here we have another one of those lame pages where it says create a public post. I've actually
I think I have a workaround around all of this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are still paying attention, the workaround is this. Instead of clicking inside of here, every single one of these posts has actually the option to click a photo and a video. So if we start by clicking on the photo and the video, and then uploading the photo and the video, and then putting in our text, instead of clicking directly here, we will create a automation that is much better, that is much better. So here's another strange thing, and the other strange thing is that it takes some command inputs, I think, from our keyboard to do certain things. Never mind. Here we are on another robotic process group, and here we should try, here it's going to work because it said write something. So far so good, ladies and gentlemen. We have almost completed our, let's check out our LinkedIn or our list. We are at group 30, so far we've made 30 posts. Last one, ladies and gentlemen, last post, and then I will be letting this run by itself until it finishes. Just don't forget to subscribe, obviously, to the RPA Champion, to the Hyper News channel, and also to check out the YouTube video that I'm sharing right now on all of the YouTube pages as well. All right, here we are. Let's pause this nonsense, and ladies and gentlemen, RPA Champions, high five to the RPA Champion. The RPA Champions cares surely about all of the RPA Champions willing to learn, so I will be answering to all of your questions, never mind what they are. Thank you so much for tuning in today's stream, and I will be seeing you and catching you in the next stream or in the next video. Take care and goodbye.